Caitlin and Aliyah, in what ways do you feel like this team has grown since the early weeks of the season? What ways have you improved?
I think just being able to have some more practice time and really get to play and get a feel for each other. I think we've just been playing a lot better team basketball. Everyone's getting their touches, everyone's knocking down their shots. And so I think it's just been really great. And also I think our defensive intensity has been a focus for us, and we're able to use that to spark our offense.
Christine.
Okay, yeah. For Caitlin, so 18 points and 12 rebounds, right? Have you ever, well, I'm sure you probably had that many rebounds before, but maybe not?
Yeah, I had. In college, I would get them sometimes.
How meaningful is that to you that the double-double is points and rebounds?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got off to a fast start there in the first quarter. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way a little bit more. And a lot of the times, the people I'm guarding are getting back in defense, so I have a little more free reign of like going and chasing down the ball while our bigs are probably boxing out and hitting a little bit more. So, you know, credit to them.
We sure are. Hitting a lot more.
Sorry, my bad. But no, I mean, I think we're really good when I can get it off the rim and push in transition. So I take a lot of pride in trying to chase it down off the rim and then really go. And I think that led to a lot of easy baskets for Aliyah at the beginning of the game, or just all of us in transition. Like, you know, I think it's a really good thing. But yeah, 12 is, you know, don't get used to it. That's for sure.
Matt and Reggie.
Yeah, for any of you, that's 3 close wins in front of 3 good home crowds. I guess how much energy or juice does it give you to have all those thousands of fans when crunch time comes?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we feel the energy. We use that to our advantage. They're cheering super loud, and so we're just thankful that they continue to show up and that they're super loud, because I mean we're playing hard for them too.
This is for all 3 of you, but 3 straight wins at home, every four. Well, in this homestand. 3 straight wins in a row. How does that help your confidence going into the upcoming road games that you guys have? And what stands out to you about this stretch at home?
I think that us, for one, being able to perform to a point where we win games in front of you guys is always a plus. So we never want to let you down. I don't think me individually or us as a group want to, see you guys looking in the crowd and y'all got long faces. So we take pride in wanting to win a game. Obviously, we take pride in our city and the people that's representing us. So I think it fuels us. It kind of give us a pick me up or whatever we need as a group. I do think this energy is important going on this stretch, because down the stretch of these games, it's gonna get mucky, it's gonna get ugly. And I think if we can handle adversity and be a part of or deal with any crowd that comes our way, I think down the stretch of games when it gets really competitive and gritty, we come out with the win still. So I think it'll be a learning experience, but I think we can fuel it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, these were important games, and I'm proud of us. I felt like we took it one game at a time. We never looked too far ahead, and I think that's the same thing with this next stretch of five straight road games. You just got to go one game at a time, and the next 2 are versus teams that we played in the last week. So they're certainly going to want some revenge, but also, I feel like the confidence that we've been able to build from the last 3 games is, continue to take a step forward and learn each game. And, if we do happen to lose one, how are we going to respond? I think that's been a big thing for us too. The last game we lost, we found a way to respond and, string off 3 straight wins. So I think we've gotten a lot better over the course of these last 3 games, and it's just continuing to build on that.
Go Jacob and Zion.
Aliyah, during this homestand, it seems like you and Caitlin have found a lot of chemistry in the pick and roll game. How much does that help you guys offensively to have kind of an action that you guys feel you can get to and get a good shot from?
Yeah, great. I think Caitlin does a great job of finding me and also understanding when she can get her shot out of the pick and roll as well. I think that's something that we just continue to build over games and practices and just continue to get a feel for each other. And so I'm super excited of where it's at now. But also I think a big part of that is Caitlin with the ball in her hand, she talks to me a lot and she tells me do this or do that. And so I'm just trying to make sure I get to those spots because I know she can hit me.
Zion and Tony.
Aliyah, you've played with Kelsey now for 2 years. I think today she made her first 5, maybe the first 6 shots. Just what does it do for your team when she comes out and is firing on all cylinders?
I mean, just continues to amp us up, really. I mean, Kelsey can score the ball. It's hard for people to stay in front of her because of her speed, and so she just blows by people, and we love that. Like, that is great energy for us because we know that one thing we give Kelsey that ball, and she's going to go and won't be stopped.
Go Tony and Christine.
Kelsey, the three of you up there combined 62 tonight and 11, 11, 12 shots for the trio. What's gelling for you three, and including NaLyssa, especially these last two games as we've seen you all play well together?
Two things. I think chemistry and experience. I think we have a relatively young group, and you need experience in this league to kind of figure out where your team is. And I think we've already kind of seen our low on what it looks like, and I think it kind of just took us up a couple notches, which is a great thing. And then individually and personnel-wise, you got to know your team. You got to know the people you're playing with. You know, you got to know what spots they like. You got to know how you got to pass it. You got to know where they're most comfortable, where they're uncomfortable. Like, all that stuff matters, and I think we are starting to master how to play with each other, and I think that once we kind of seal the deal with that one, it'll be hard for people to stop us, because I think we got all fire on cylinders together. I think everybody can eat. So.
Go Christine, Matt.
For all three of you, national narratives are interesting and maybe not even accurate, but the narrative early on was you're struggling, you're losing, it's a bad team, whatever. I'm sure you heard it, you saw it, or you tried to avoid it. So what's the narrative now? What's the story of the Fever now? If the season ends today, you're in the playoffs. What's the story that America should be paying attention to now? All three of you, if you can answer. Thank you.
Honestly, my opinion with that is I let people keep their narratives. Whatever they want to say is what they want to say, because I feel like we have this group right here of 12 that we know what we're working towards. We know how we come in every single day, and if they want to change their narrative, that's cool for them, but we're going to be rocking with our 12.
What she said.
I think everybody just loves instant satisfaction in our world. Like, no one came in here and said we were going to be WNBA champions from day one in our locker room. Like, that was never our goal. Our goal is to get back to the playoffs, and we're fighting for that every single night. Like, this is the first time we've won 4 home games in a row since 2015. Like, you have to have perspective on things, and that goes for life too. Like, have perspective on life, and there just needs to be solid perspective on what this team can accomplish, and I think everybody in our locker room had that, and nobody ever hung their heads. We had the hardest schedule to start. We didn't get to practice much, and we're playing with the most inexperienced team in the WNBA, so I think it's just this group is starting to click and build some chemistry, and it's one day at a time, but like I said, everybody loves instant satisfaction, but sure, we would have probably loved that too, but I think we all kept good perspective on knowing we just need to get better one step at a time, and that's what we're going to continue to do, even though we've won 3 in a row at home here.
Go Matt.
Yeah, Caitlin, really efficient first half for you. Some more off-target passes in the second half, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about smoothing that out as games progress?
Yeah, there was a couple here and there. I think one was a set design where I kind of just assumed Aliyah was going to be open, and I didn't even really look before I threw it. So I think just slowing down a little bit. Honestly, I'm trying to remember the other ones. Another one was to Aliyah that was slowing out of bounds.
It's all right. Don't worry, because don't worry, because you look at Caitlin and you look at the way she passes the ball, and so sometimes things are gonna happen that way, and that's okay, because we're not gonna let her hang her head. We're not gonna hang our head off of any missed passes, because we're still continuing to gel together, and we know that she's a great passer. And so if she thinks she can get that ball there, she's gonna throw it. And if I miss it, then we're good. All right, we're good.
Aliyah, we haven't asked you about being named Eastern Conference Player of the Week, especially given what you went through the first couple of weeks. Is this a little bit more fruitful, a little bit more meaningful to you?
Yeah, it was nice. I'm really glad. I'm glad my teammates have just continued to put me in those positions. Thank God that I was able to be awarded that, but it's special for me.
And Kelsey, as a team, what are you most proud of about what's clicking, about what's rolling right now for this group?
I would say that our attitude on keeping what don't matter out. I would say I'm most proud of our group for that. I think right now we're keeping the basketball, we're keeping the main thing, and that's the X's and O's in our group. I don't think that we focus on what the world could be saying, and I think that's the best part for us right now. So I think that's our biggest growth for our biggest jump as a group, coaches included.
Yeah, for Kelsey, obviously, last time you guys won 4 home games in a row was 2015. That was still 3 years before you as the longest tenured player got here. Just what's different about this year's team compared to all the others?
Obviously the change in era or the change in I think obviously just these guys coming in, kind of changing the era for the game in general, for the women's basketball side of things. But I think collectively, us taking the time to build what the organization and what it could be. You know, to be catches in that era was what it was, and I think that we're just trying to do something different and establish something different. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Got the last two on Zoom. DJ, you want to start?
Hey, I have two questions. Questions for all three of you. All three of you made threes in this game. I wanted to know, one, how do you feel about the spacing when all of you are shooting well from distance? And then the other question is for Caitlin. You had a three-pointer off of a down screen in the fourth quarter near clutch time, and I wanted to ask, are you more comfortable on ball or off ball in those situations?
I mean, I would say our spacing has definitely improved over the course of the last probably couple of weeks. Honestly, I think we kind of struggled at the beginning of the year, and then, to be honest, I think it was a bit of a broken play. We were running a set, and I kind of just ran in a circle and then kind of came off a down screen because I knew I was supposed to come off a down screen at some point. And sometimes it works best when you fake yourself out because then it really fakes the defense out. And it worked, and I got the most open I had been all night. So honestly, like, I prefer to shoot off the dribble. I think everybody knows that. But I think my catch and shoot shooting and coming off screen shooting has definitely improved over the course of the last 2 years for sure.
Maybe Kelsey, anything on spacing?
Yeah, I think our spacing has definitely improved, like Caitlin said, but I think a big part of that too is that they have to chase so many people. They have to chase Kelsey, they have to chase Caitlin, and so they're more focused on them, and then sometimes they're able to just pop back and knock it down.
Last one on Zoom, Mike Vopel.
Yeah, Aliyah, I think you have 4 threes already this year, which is many last year. I just wondered, obviously you battle so much down low, but when you sort of decide to look for that three, and how have you worked on that to make that a part of your game?
Yeah, I mean, shooting three is something I worked on in the off season, but it's also something that I continue to do in practice and just knock it down. And we do a lot of drills where we're shooting threes, and so I mean, I'm pretty confident. I don't just start out there. Obviously, I want to bang and get down low, and then sometimes when I have the opportunity, I'll just step back and take it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Great motion.
Just a simple step.
No, just catch and shoot.